In the previous lesson, we discussed how assemblies and drawings have built-in pointers that allow these documents to find their parts. It can be helpful to see these pointers so you understand why an assembly is failing to find its parts, or why the wrong version of part is being displayed. When you open an assembly, if you simply select it in the File Open window and click References, SOLIDWORKS will display the pointers built into the assembly file. These are the places where this assembly expects to find its parts. By looking at this listing, you'll immediately know if your assembly is trying to find components in places where it shouldn't be, such as a network directory instead of your local disk. Once you open the assembly, you can also see the built-in pointers by using Find References from the File drop-down menu. And this window is similar to the References window we saw a minute ago, with a few more options here at the bottom. From this window, you can see every part being referenced by your assembly, and you can print or copy the list. You can also use this window to copy files. Say you want to put your assembly and all of its referenced parts into a single folder so you can pass the files along to a vendor. This Copy Files button will allow you to do just that, regardless of where your individual parts are stored. Some can be on your local disk, some on your network. It doesn't make a difference. Copy Files will bring everything into a single location. When I click Copy Files, SOLIDWORKS will open the Pack and Go dialog window. You can choose to include drawings and simulation results, and if you have the PhotoWorks add-in enabled in SOLIDWORKS, you'll also have the option to include any related PhotoWorks files. Any items that have the check next to them will be copied when Pack and Go is finished. If there's any items you do not wish to include, simply uncheck them from the list. Here at the bottom, I can choose to have all of the selected files saved into a folder, or I can have all of the files zipped up together into a zip file. If you're planning on emailing the copied files, I recommend using the Save to Zip File option. When I select it, I'll also have the option of having SOLIDWORKS automatically create an email with the zip file attached. For this example, I'll leave this option unchecked and use the Save to Folder option instead. I'll click the Browse button to specify a location and a name, and click OK. The prefix and suffix checkboxes allow you to give the copied files unique names. This can be helpful so that you know which are the files that are the new copies. Now keep in mind that although the file names of the copied files change, all of the references and pointers will be maintained among the copied assemblies and drawings. Finally, rather than preserving any of the original file's directory structures, I'd like for all the copied files to be in a single folder, so I'll make sure the Flatten to Single Folder option is checked. To finish up, I'll click Save, and all of my files will be copied. If I browse to the new folder, you can see Assembly 1 and its 3 parts have all been copied successfully. Another method available for viewing the pointers or references of an assembly or drawing is to use SOLIDWORKS Explorer. SOLIDWORKS Explorer is a file management tool available within SOLIDWORKS. You'll find it in the Tools drop-down menu. Once you launch SOLIDWORKS Explorer, you'll see this simple search interface. If I click the expand icon, I'll be able to browse to the assembly. Once the file is selected, you'll see a preview in the graphics area. To see the pointers within the assembly, click the References tab. One nice feature within SOLIDWORKS Explorer is that you can not only see parts referenced by assemblies and drawings, but you can go the other way and see whether parts are used in any assemblies or drawings. To do this, I simply select a part file and then click the Where Used tab. Any assemblies or drawings that may be using this part will be listed. And this is important if I plan on renaming or moving this file. I can use this Where Used tool to make sure I won't be breaking any pointers by making changes to this part file. If you want to control what types of references Explorer is looking for and where it's actually looking for them, go to SOLIDWORKS Explorer Options and switch to the References Where Used tab. Here you can tell Explorer what type of references to look for and add additional locations. Now that we understand a bit more about pointers, let's take a look at some specific tasks starting with renaming parts.